Hey, what's happening, folks? Textboy91 here, and they dropped three new legends on Saturday. Two of them are in packs. One of them won 4 Super Bowls in a Mike Webster, who was a center for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The other one lost 4 Super Bowls, who was a halfback for the Buffalo Bills. Also, they dropped a Cris Carter collection, which you can complete to get a legendary wide receiver in Cris Carter. So let's go ahead and look at the center who won 4 Super Bowls.
All right, here is the Mike Webster. I absolutely want to have this card, mostly because my centers aren't that consistent. I notice when I play this game that the centers generally have either one good blocking stat and the rest are mediocre, or they have consistent but are very very low. Right now, I'm using the I believe Sullivan. I think that's his last name. I think that's my center right now. And I noticed that even though he's in the middle of the field, sometimes he gets beat, especially when I notice everybody's out there running the three-man front and he gets beat by one dude. So Mike Webster has some really nice stats, but I am definitely not paying 175K for him just because it's a center. I can reinvest that coin in somebody else, such as I want to say Rod Woodson, Ronnie Lott, anybody else that'll affect the game in a different way other than a center. But I do like this card. It's really consistent. 94 run blocking strength, 98 run blocking footwork, 97 pass blocking footwork, 97 pass blocking strength, or whatever. It's a really great card, and I really want to have this card on my team. So I'm hoping I can get one of these in a pack, but you never know. This game hasn't given me a legend card since me and Joe Green. So there's the Mike Webster. Now we're on to the halfback that lost 4 Super Bowls. All right, here's the Thurman Thomas, 98 overall halfback. He is the highest legend halfback, I believe. I believe Marshall Faulk 97, and I believe Emmitt Smith 97 as well. So he's the highest legendary halfback. The highest elite halfback is the Adrian Peterson. And I haven't seen these cards stats, but I heard they're really nice. Let's go ahead and flip it over real quick. Yeah, that is a really nice card. 95 speed, 93 carry, 92 with trucking. Like, oh my, this card is amazing. And the reason I say that is because if you look at its price, 233K. If you guys can think back to how much Marshall Faulk cost when the collection was first out, he was around 400, 300K. Like he was around that price, and people paid that coin for him. So pretty much this is a bigger upgrade from Marshall Faulk. And going for 233K, I'm only hoping it gets cheaper because if it gets down around 150K, I might just pick one up just because that was the same price Marshall Faulk was going for when I decided to do the collection. And this is going to be a nice back you can always have on your team. High carry, high speed, high trucking. This is just a beast. And I really like this card. I really like this card. I have no idea who Thurman Thomas is at all, but yeah, I have no idea who he is, but he looks really good. Good speed, good carry, good trucking, good acceleration, good awareness. Like he feel like he'd be a nice back to have in the backfield. Has the speed and also has the ability to run somebody over. So I'm actually like this card. And 233K is kind of high, but 150 might be a nice price for it. And I'm hoping it comes down around that price. I remember Mincho Green, he was around 200K, then got down to 130. Now he's at like 90. So I'm hoping this card follows that same trajectory and gets super cheap. Now we have the collection reward, Cris Carter. This is the card you get from completing the Cris Carter Legendary Collection. And looking at this card's stats, yeah, this card's a monster. 91 speed, 97 catching, 97 route running, and 95 spec catch, 96 release. Like, this card is a beast. And I like this card, and I'm hoping it gets cheaper because I know how the collectibles are so hard to come by, and I guess once they bring back legendary tier packs and some other stuff like that, the price will drop drastically, I'm hoping, because this is a really consistent card. He's not the fastest receiver, but he has nice speed with a 91, and he has some great catching attributes, and I like that with a high release, so he can pretty get off the line quick. And in the NFL, I always heard stories about him being able to catch anything thrown to him, like one-handed it, like behind his back, like he'll be able to catch anything thrown to him, and he was just that good receiver to have. A situation that called for him to get a completion. And look, compared to Demaryius Thomas, stats are kind of similar, but he has way better catching in traffic, which is huge. I use Demaryius Thomas sometimes in going across the middle of the field, and he'd be dropping those passes. So Cris Carter, like, it'd be a big target that'll catch anything thrown to him. I have no idea what the stats are with the Calvin Johnson, and if it's just as good, but I'm liking this Cris Carter, and of course it's going to be a lot higher than it normally probably would be, just because it's a collection evolve, and along with only a few people who are doing it. So I would probably pick this card up if I can get a chance to play with it, but I'm definitely not going to pay 500K for it. But that is the new legendary Cris Carter that I like. I don't like him as a person. He's kind of an asshole, but I like him as a player. He was a beast back when he played at Minnesota. All right, this is the Lawrence Taylor. I figured I'm about to take a look at this card since it technically is a legend, even though it is an elite. But this is the Lawrence Taylor 96 right outside linebacker you get for completing the Halloween collection, which I'm kind of almost done. I'm missing 10 cards. If I can get at least like two of the expensive ones, that'd be great. Because the issue with it is right now, this card's only going for 230K. And that's if it sells. Like, I could probably get 200K out of it easy, but if I want to do the collection, it probably is going to cost me around 250 to get completed. So I need to sell this one and the other card to get some profit. But here it is anyway. Regardless, what I'm saying, 86 speed stands out to me. That's not that great, and he has really middle of the road tackling 91, and everything else seems to be mediocre. So 230K for this card. The only thing I can see why people want to buy this card is because you guys want to guess what his hit power is. You want to guess? Like, you want to guess? You can guess what his man coverage is only a 61. His zone's only a 73. But you want to guess what his hit power is? Anybody? Any volunteers out there in the audience? All right, his hit power is a 94. So he'll murder you, basically, is what all that's telling me. High hit power. So that is great, because right now I'm using Zach Brown, and he does not have the hit power to knock somebody out and cause a fumble. He has the speed and stay in coverage, but this card seems to have pretty average stats with a high hit power. I'm going to go ahead and compare him to the linebackers I got. You can go ahead and just tell, like, look at the price difference and look at their stats looking very, very similar. Alden Smith is a pass rusher for the most part. He's not as fast as Lawrence Taylor, but everything else looks very similar other than tackling and play recognition. Here's Clay Matthews, who I got for around 10,000 coins. And he has high hit power too, 91 hit power. Tackling's not there, but everything else looks pretty similar other than the play rec, which is pretty much what Lawrence Taylor is. He's a play wrecking machine, it looks like. And I don't know, I want to keep this card and play with it, but if I get the collection, I'm probably going to have to sell it because I'm going to need the coin back unless I get lucky and pull one of the damn expensive cards out of this collection to get it done. But that is the Lawrence Taylor right there. Pretty average, I want to say average stats, but a really, really high hit power. Alright, here's the Mike Alstott. I have no idea who this guy is. If you guys want to let me know in the comment section below, feel free to. But here's the fullback, 94 overall, 94 trucking. That's great, but not necessary. 79 run blocking, 74 run blocking strength, or footwork, I should say. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. When I'm looking for a fullback, I need somebody that can block, because right now I'm using Marcel Reese, and he is no prize himself. He has really good speed, and he has terrible blocking stats. He be missing blocks half the time. He has good impact blocking, but if he hits somebody, he's going to knock him down. But if he misses, that's my ass, Mr. Postman. But he be doing nothing out there. And I feel like Mike Alstott might be doing the same exact thing. The awareness is pretty much the same, so they're not going to make that three. It's not going to make a difference where he blocks Patrick Willis or he blocks a guy that's not even in the play. And the fact that the trucking is really high, it's not necessary. When I'm at the goal line, I give the ball to Alfred Morris. He has a 96 trucking, I believe. I got the next gen boosted one, so that trucking is irrelevant to me, and the catching is not that great, so I don't really think this card's worth 63K, but it's going for that much because people have to sell it because they did that collection, and they need to make some profit back. Look at Mike Tolbert, this garbage, but he has high trucking though, so and they don't go fullback in this game with good blocking stats, it looks like. But there's the Mike Alstott. I wouldn't personally pay 60K for him. I might pay 15 to try him out, but I'm not going to pay that much money to pay for a fullback that's only going to be doing blocking and might be out there maybe 10% of the time. Alright, and that is the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to drop it a like. Also, if you guys pulled packs this past weekend, let me know what legendary cards you pulled. I'm out, this is Mother Bleeper. Peace!